Welcome back, players and collectors. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Day 2024, which is actually tomorrow, and something dropped. I think it dropped like a week ago, but I just recently saw it and I'm like, holy cow, that could be it. So we're going to look into some speculation and some really unproven rumors about the next game. Make this your spoiler alert right now that everything we're going to talk about is going to be rumor and speculation for the next game and could potentially spoil the game for you if you wanted to wait until the Pokemon Day announcement. But with that, let's move on in because this is a good one. I have been waiting for Black and White remakes, or even like Black and White 3, a continuation of the story somewhere along the line. I am a huge Unova fan, and having some kind of announcement for a Unova game would just be absolutely fantastic for me. It also kind of makes me hope that they don't announce anything because I want the game to be so good. And we knew with, Ilka taking over on Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and I mean, even for the Pokemon Legends Arceus game and for Scarlet and Violet, there's just been bugs. There was errors. There was things that shouldn't have happened that did happen and did make its way into the game. So part of me is sitting here going, I hope if they do a Black and White remake, they don't mess it up, right? I want it to be perfect. I also don't really want it to be in that chibi style. I know a lot of people liked it. I personally was not a fan, but however they do it, I'll be excited no matter what. But something caught my eye when I was perusing the Twitter and Reddits and 4chan and all those places, and I found something that I thought was really interesting, and I thought there might be some credibility to this, so let's take a look at it and see what it is. And I'm talking none other than a Johto Pokemon Legends style game. Now, it's not going to be necessarily Pokemon Legends Celebi. It could be. This particular one doesn't really say it's going to be, but let's just take a look at what we have here. So it says it's going to be 2 regions, Modern Johto plus a more map to the west and a bit north. So it's going to be Joshin and Shoto, I think is how you pronounce those, which makes sense because you combine the two and it makes Johto. And it takes place before Legends Arceus, which is kind of an interesting concept. That it would take place before that. But then again, if you think about it, maybe Legends Arceus is like the final piece of the puzzle, and now we need to get all the pieces before to complete that picture. Who knows? Who knows? New names and locations. So it says Night Sky Mountain is north, New Island west of Cyanwood, Snow Mountain with ancient temples northwest of the Johto we currently know. This is in Shoto. So the outline is depicting more of a push out. Well, for me, this is northwest. I know for you guys, it's probably northeast, but it's pushing them more west and more north to show more. And I think that's kind of important because if it's a game focused on Johto, you don't really want it going east because that's where Kanto is, and you want to save that for its own thing. So I imagine if we're looking at a map, and we're looking at Johto here, I imagine everything is going to take place from like the Indigo Plateau area west. And like the Indigo Plateau is going to be the eastern boundaries of the map. And then, obviously everything else will move west. But I think it'll be even more so where parts of the map are not going to be known, or we might not get to explore, areas of Johto that we already know. But they're going to be different regions, but more northwest, so you get more of that unknown territory. But it also says the 3 starters are going to be Chespin, Torchic, and Piplup. And I'm not going to lie, that's a really good combination there, and I don't know who I would pick at that point. Piplup is my favorite out of those 3, but Chespin's very close. I might pick a Chespin. But then Chespin's going to be Grass Fairy, Torchic will be Fire Steel, and Piplup would be Water Fighting. And then there's going to be a regional Tangela plus Evo, Udon, normal Fairy, and then Halucha and Absol will be in it, with a special regional Gyarados, which is Water Fire. I think that's a really interesting concept. kind of makes it seem more like a traditional Chinese dragon, you know, in that regard. So that would be really cool to see. An awesome combination of typings that we don't really have a lot of. And then it says the big piece here, I think, is most interesting to me personally, is there's two main storylines. So you have the raging Pokemon. Human settlements are under attack. Epic raid-style boss battles on raging Pokemon with NPCs. Kamado and Benny in main settlement at Lake of Rage used to be village. So Lake of Rage is now like an actual settlement. It's the main settlement, which is kind of cool, honestly. Gyarados boss raid, 4 versus 1, so kind of bringing back the whole like den raids and max raids and all that. The Kamado storyline is like the prequel to is like the prequel to Legends Arceus. You have a Bell Tower raid attack 4v1, and then Brass Tower final raid attack Ho-Oh raging form, don't know in English, 4v1, other three activate beasts, Ho-Oh's captured. So it sounds like in the main storyline for the raging Pokemon, final piece of it is going through the Brass Tower before it burns down, which would be fantastic, since in Johto, the original game, everybody wanted to know the history of what happened in the burned tower, which is, you know, the bell tower. It would be really cool to be able to see both towers not burnt to the ground yet, see what happened to burn them to the ground, and see if you can capture Ho-Oh and activate the 3 beasts. It would also be really, really cool, I think, in my personal opinion, if they put the ancient forms or some type of in-between the ancient forms and the modern forms of Suicune, Entei, and Raikou. I mean, I think that would be kind of cool. I don't think it's gonna happen, but just part of me, you know, thrown out there, I think that would be kind of cool. And then the second main storyline would be war. There's war between the regions. You must visit temples. Imagine archaic version of gym, no titles. So basically just a temple. You go in and fight some monks and walk out a victor. Must fight temple or final fight on Johto Island with Lugia raging form, don't know in English. Witness Whirl Islands, Lugia is captured, activate birds. So it sounds like Lugia, you know, would be in here, and once you capture them, it activates the 3 birds. So Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos. I don't know why I did those 3 out of order too. I mean, they're literally in numerical order in Spanish, so I don't know. But the interesting thing about these here too is it does say raging form. So we haven't seen what any of this looks like yet, but just kind of like with the Sinnoh ones, the Arceus game, you had the origin form Palkia and origin form Dialga. So now we're gonna get the raging form of Ho-Oh and the raging form of Lugia. And honestly, I want to believe that that's real, because them being in a raging form would fit their stories so good, that these two are clashing all the time, and you know, they're these epic titans that are going at it. You know, I think it fits that whole theme pretty well. But it says in the end, the regions unite to form Johto, which kind of seems like a typical Pokemon storyline move. You know, everybody comes together. Look at Legends Arceus, right? At the end, you had 2 warring clans, and at the end, very end of it, they unite, they come together, and, you know, happy times, happy story, happy ending. But there's even a little bit more here that says, very small area with islands south of map, post-game full of Gen 3 Pokemon. No regional or new, but some legendary. So it seems like the post-game content is going to consist of some islands, basically where you can open up and unlock extra Pokemon. So that's kind of cool. I know a lot of people like that. And then there's a new 3rd egg legendary. It's a rock ghost type with Awaken. Bird form is electric flying with the ability to switch form in battle. So that's very different. To go from a rock ghost to an electric flying, that's very, I don't know I don't know that I believe it that much, but you know, you got to take everything that these say with a grain of salt, but man, I don't know, that just seems kind of different. But then again, Pokemon likes to do different things. And then the final piece here says side story, antagonist, Draconid, many references to Hoenn, final battle at Cyanwood Island. So it's kind of setting up, if all of this is true and accurate, it's setting up for a Legends game in Hoenn, which I would absolutely love because, again, I love history. I love exploring previous storylines that set everything up for the current, and just being able to take that leap back in time is fantastic. When Legends Arceus came out, man, I loved that game. I still love that game. I still pick it up and play it every now and then, trying to complete like all. I haven't completed the Pokedex yet, okay? Leave me alone. Being able to do this, and then at the very end, when you beat the whole game, there's like references to a Legends game for another region, aka Hoenn, not Hoenn. I would absolutely love that. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Of course, again, as I've said many times, this could all be false. This is all just speculation. It is unconfirmed rumors, and we're not going to know, obviously, until tomorrow, or even further on. They might not even announce anything for a new Arceus or a new Legends game tomorrow at all. They might not. But I don't know. I'm going to be hanging on to this and just seeing and watching to see if anything else really comes from it, and I'm going to be looking to see if there's any other big, you know, informational pieces out there that might potentially spoil it in case that this doesn't come true tomorrow. But let me know what you guys think down below, and also comment if this is not real, what would you want out of the Pokemon Presents tomorrow? But that's all we have time for today. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you in the next video.